Did you know that Play-Doh was first invented as a wallpaper cleaner? I know that most of us as children have played with Play-Doh. And the first time that I started to make my own Play-Doh was whenever I was working at a summer camp this summer. And I was needing to make Play-Doh so that the students that I was teaching could use it as a manipulative. So the great part about Play-Doh is that even as an adult, you can just let your creativity run wild. So today, I am going to teach you how to make Play-Doh. I love this recipe. It's so easy, and I can't wait to show you how to make it. So the first step in making Play-Doh is just to gather all of your materials. And once you have your materials, you can get started. So your materials are 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup of salt, 1/8 cup of cream of tartar, a teaspoon of vegetable oil, and food coloring of your choice. The next step after you have gathered all your materials is to mix all of the materials together. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to mix all of them together into a pot. And it doesn't really matter which order that you mix them in because they're just going to all be mixed together anyways. And the cream of tartar doesn't really have to be mixed in with it, but the reason that it is the cream of tartar, it makes the shelf life longer for the Play-Doh. So, and then you get everything in, and you're going to add your food coloring at this point once everything is in. And I chose red food coloring today, so our Play-Doh will be red. So the next step, like I said, it was to mix everything together. First, you put the pot on the, I had already put the pot on the stove, but you need to turn the cooktop on to medium degrees. I put it on about 5 or 6, and that'll be okay. So once it's on, you're just going to begin stirring the Play-Doh. And I'm not going to finish this part of the step because it takes a little bit longer. So you stir this until it starts forming a sticky ball in the middle of the pot. And it'll do that in about 6 minutes. So it takes a little while to do this. But you just continually stirring it until it's smooth. You could even use a whisk to make the Play-Doh smoother. So the next step after that is that you are going to take this Play-Doh out after it has formed a ball, and you are going to put it in some kind of container or a plate so that it can cool down. Now that you've put it in this container, you are going to let it cool down for about 20 minutes. So it takes a little while. Before then, it's just really sticky, so you can't play with it until it's cooled down. And then that's the last step, is that you just need to let it cool down, and then you can play with it. So now that you have all of the steps, let me turn this off so it doesn't burn. So now that you have all of the steps, let's go back over how to make Play-Doh. The first thing that we did was we gathered all of our materials, and those materials were a cup of water, a 1/4 cup of salt, 1/8 cup of the cream of tartar, that's to make it last longer, the vegetable oil, the cup of flour, and your food coloring. And you needed to gather those things, and then you just mix them in your boiler, just with a spoon or whatever. On medium heat, you needed to cook that for however long until it formed a ball in the middle. Once it formed a ball in the middle, all you're going to need to do is let it cool down for about 20 minutes, and then you're ready to play with it. So that was a pretty easy recipe, wasn't it? So next time you feel like you need to let your creativity flow, or to entertain a kid perhaps, just mix up you a quick batch of Play-Doh. I hope this recipe comes in handy. Thank you.